Today, I'm going to talk to you about some fighting words. Them's fighting words. This is an old expression. You don't hear it too often anymore, but I'll explain that in a moment. But the key here is that people fight a lot, but not always like physically fighting. Sometimes it's just an argument. Sometimes it's just some sort of manipulation, like in an office. Somebody is trying to get ahead of you for a promotion, or in other contexts, somebody's trying to like start something with you just for an argument's sake. So there are a lot of expressions that show a fight is coming, or a fight will happen, or challenging someone to a fight. So I'm going to talk to you about some of these expressions. Now, first of all, let's start with the title. Them's fighting words, and sometimes you'll hear them's be fighting words. Both expressions are okay. When someone says, oh, them's be fighting words, it means I feel like you're challenging me, or I feel like you're threatening me, right? So threat is a good expression, good word to know. If someone is threatening you, that means they want to do you some harm. Now, it doesn't have to be physical. It could be at work. It could be socially, romantically, etc. But if they're threatening you, then what they say, you can say, them's be fighting words. I understand you're threatening me. I'm prepared to fight you back, basically. A little bit old-fashioned expression. Now, some people, when they have a fight, they say, okay, we're going to have this fight, no holds barred. Now, in wrestling, if you ever watch wrestling or any other sort of like physical sport, even, I guess wrestling is the most common, they have certain holds like this, or they hold the opponent in a certain way to get an advantage. So in some cases, certain holds are just not allowed. They are barred. But if we're going to have a no holds barred fight, means everything is allowed. There are no rules. I can hit you anywhere I can do anything I want to you if it's going to help me win. So be careful when somebody says no holds barred. They will play dirty. That's another good expression. Or they will fight dirty. Dirty means, for example, for a guy, if you hit me in a certain part of my body, I will fall right away and I will not be able to fight anymore. But that's a bit dirty fighting, so don't do that. But in a no-holds-barred fight, it happened. To pull one's punches. If you're pulling your punches, means you're not hitting as hard as you could. So in any other context, you're not attacking as hard as you could. So if you saw the movie Captain America Civil War, Scarlet Witch said to Hawkeye that he's pulling his punches because he wasn't hitting Black Widow hard enough, because, they're friends. So he wants to stay friends. So he was pulling his punches. To hit below the belt is exactly what I just described. So I have a belt, and if you hit me below that, I'm going to be in a lot of pain. But here, to hit below the belt means to fight dirty or play dirty. It also means to attack someone in a very vulnerable point. So if you hit someone below the belt, it doesn't have to be physical. You can say something that is a little bit rude or insulting. That's also considered hitting below the belt. You should have a certain level of respect for someone, and certain things you just don't attack. So to get even with someone. So some fights start because somebody thinks that something bad happened to them, and they need to do something bad to the person who did that first bad thing. It's like a revenge. So to get even with someone means to get revenge with someone, or another word for revenge, payback. So they gave you something, you have to pay them back the same level of something, right? So if somebody insulted you, the payback would be to insult them. If somebody made you look bad in front of a girl or in front of a guy, you will do something to embarrass them later. So you're going to get even. You're going to get your payback. If someone has something coming, to have it coming, it means they deserve whatever is going to happen to them. So somebody said to me, like, why were you so mean to your neighbor? Like you treated them very badly. They had it coming. So that means that my neighbor had done something to me that made me want to get some payback, And so I gave the payback, and because they had it coming. So I can explain to my friend, don't worry, they deserved it. They had it coming. Now, me and my friend are talking, and the voices start to rise, the emotions start to rise, and soon enough, we come to blows. Come to blows means it escalates or becomes an actual fight. And blows means like a punch or a hit is a blow. So if something is about to come to blows, then we should calm the situation down because they're about to physically start fighting. And a blow is a physical thing, so it's always a physical fight. Okay, so I got a few more for you, and they're from all kinds of contexts and situations, but all related to fighting still. So you should never give up without a fight. Now, this doesn't have to be a physical fight. Any struggle or any time you're about to quit something because it's too difficult, don't give up without a fight. At least try, right? But if somebody does give up without a fight, basically means he's easy or she is easy to quit. And that's not a good situation either. Now, this expression, I put a blank here because the most common word you'll hear is like beat the shit out of someone or beat the crap out of someone. But you can also say beat the stuffing out of someone. It all depends on your level of language that you want to use. But this is a very common expression when somebody gets literally beaten up, like hit and all bloody and bruised and all that. Or if you threaten somebody, you can say, I'm going to beat the whatever out of you, right? If you don't stop talking, or if you don't stop bothering me, or if you don't leave my parking spot, I'm going to beat the out of you, right? Very common expression. Tit for tat. A little bit more old-fashioned, but still used quite often. Tit for tat means you do something to me, I'll do something to you. You do something small to me, I'll do something small to you. You do something bad, like big and bad to me, I'll do something big and bad to you. So basically, you know the expression eye for an eye from the Bible. Tit for tat, same idea, right? Something you do, something I do. Now, if someone is spoiling for a fight, it means that they're looking for a fight. They want a fight. Or they're acting in a way that a fight is going to come to them. So usually we use this as a warning. Listen, you're spoiling for a fight. Better stop, better cut it back. It means you're asking for it. And I'm going to eventually lose my patience and get into a fight with you, right? Or someone is acting in a certain way because he or she is spoiling for a fight, means maybe they drank a little bit too much and they want this situation. Go down swinging or come out swinging. So two expressions, but same general format. If you go down swinging like all kinds of whatever punching motions. If you go down swinging, or if someone goes down swinging, it means fighting until the very end. Never gave up. Now, mostly for physical, go down swinging, like you're actually physically swinging your hand, you're throwing punches and whatever. But anytime that you're in a situation where you're in a position of harm or danger, even of losing your job, for example, if you go down swinging, means you fought it until the very end. You didn't just give up and walk away. And if somebody comes out swinging, it means from the beginning, they're ready to go hard and fight for whatever they believe, right? So if you invite someone to a fight and they come out swinging, means they have no hesitation. They'll start swinging and throwing those arms right away. Now, very good expression. You don't hear it often, but you do hear it. And it's a very specific context. If someone brings a knife to a gunfight, it means they are not prepared. If you come to me and you have a knife and you want to attack me and I have a gun, until you reach me with your knife, I already shoot you and win, right? So if you did this, means you came unprepared, and your opponent is maybe smarter than you or stronger than you or better equipped for the situation than you are. And if somebody says this to you, that's a little bit saying you're stupid, right? It's not nice, but that's essentially what it means. You didn't come well prepared for the situation. So these are just some of the expressions about fighting. There are others, but this is a good place to start. If you have any questions about them, you can ask me in the engVid website. There's a quiz, of course. Don't forget to make sure you understand them in specific sentences and contexts. And yeah, that's it. Come back. Next time, I'll give you some more expressions useful for everyday conversation. See you then. Bye-bye.